Hey, it's Bob here, and this is Bob Saget's Here for You. I don't know how we came up with the title, but I do feel like I'm here for you. I feel like I want to entertain you. I really do. I can't be out on tour right now. You can't be out in big congregations of any kind. That sounds religious, but I didn't mean it that way. And so this is my way of reaching out. And I'm the very first comedian ever with a podcast, which I'm excited about. It's very original. There's 9 kids under 6 that have podcasts across the street, but I'm social distancing and I'm jealous of them. But what I want you to do is subscribe, and that's good. And we got sponsors that are excited about it, and I'll be telling you about them. And you want to rate and review this, and you want to do that positively. I'm not trying to skew this, but if you say a bunch of negative stuff, who are you helping? Maybe I don't know. Maybe somebody that don't like me, but I'm fine with that because I don't use right English. Because Mark Twain was my teacher. Well, I'm going to call a bunch of people. I got a bunch of young ladies left a lot of messages for me, and they had questions and stuff they wanted to talk about. And so this is really interesting too, because I'm at the point in my life where there's nothing lascivious involved here. This is just me calling people because I want to reach out to people and maybe give them a positive moment in their day. So here we go, and I'm going to start calling right now. Let's call some of you guys, and I hope feelings are good with the people. And if they're not, we're going to get some honest interaction here. I'm going to call Andre. This is going to be a very easy call because I got Andre's number. I hope it's Andre. It's spelled Andres. Let's see what happens. That would be a ring of a phone, like old school.
We're sorry. You have reached a number that has been disconnected or is no longer in service.
That's really good.
If you feel you have
That's
reached
great.
this recording in error.
So Andre must have given us a fake number or somebody transcribed it wrong. But, it don't matter. I think it's important that you hear that that's how out of it he is right now. And I'm wishing him well. So I'm going to call, this is Abby I'm calling.
Hello?
Hi, Abby. This is Bob Saget here. How are you?
Good. How are you?
I'm good. Are you surprised I'm actually calling?
Yes, I am.
Well, it was nice that you left a message. How are you doing? How's it going?
Oh, I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. Considering all the stuff that's going on. If you watch the news too much, it can get you a little wackadoodle,
Yeah,
What part of the country are you in?
I'm in Massachusetts.
And are you near Boston?
I'm like 45 minutes away from Boston.
I love it up there. I'm supposed to be there in a few months, in a couple different cities, but doing stand up. But I think we're rescheduling them because it just has to be that way. So, are you kind of holed up and are you like trapped alone?
No, I'm in my house with my mom, my brother, and my sister.
Oh, that's good. So, are you guys getting along, or is it becoming that family thing that happens when you're cooped up?
It's on and off for the most part.
Is there any of them I need to talk
No.
to straighten this out? Is there any family work intervention that I can do?
Yeah, you can talk to my mom if you'd like.
I would do that, but first, before we do that, let me find out what your question was. What was it you were wanting to know?
Oh, I just wanted to know if or how comedy has helped you in rough patches of your life, because I wanted to be a comedian and I've had a lot of rough patches.
Right. I totally, that is a fully relatable question and subject to me. It's been really I actually wrote a book about it called Dirty Daddy. And in the book, it goes on to say that, how do you make a comedian? And we had a lot of death in our family, a lot. And it was really tough. Since I was 9 years old, there was always someone that passed away. My uncles passed away really young, and I lost both my sisters. And within the past 10 years, 15 years, I lost my parents, which happens when you get as old as me. But it's still not easy. And then there's all the emotional stuff that happens and I've got 3 daughters that I treasure. And a lot of the difficulty that I went through caused me to start doing stand-up when I was 17 years old. And I started by doing comedy songs, and then I started by doing really weird stand-up. It wasn't that blue or anything, but it was just strange. I'd have jokes like, I have the brain of a German Shepherd and the body of a 16-year-old boy, and they're both in my car, and I want you to see them. And then exactly, it's like free association gibberish. But what draws you to comedy?
um, well, I also have had a lot of people in my life pass away since I was 6 to 8 years old. Usually
Sorry.
every year I would go to a funeral. So
Wow. I can relate.
yeah,
It's so hard too, because it's like, do you find that it's like right now you're figuring it out? Kind of like you can't figure it out as a kid.
yeah. I'm only 20.
Right. That's what I thought. Because a lot of my fans or people that would call or look at my Twitter or my Instagram, that's the age range. I've got interesting, my demographics, they call it, but my people that I talk to that relate to me are around your age or 16 or 30. And then there's, 40, 50-year-olds, and I go all the way to 90 and then entombment. But how do you make humor out of that? And what would you want to do? Would you want to go, the suggestion is to write down, your first 5 minutes and then go up at clubs like in Boston. I think it's the Comedy Underground there, isn't it? I don't know. But get up in comedy workshops and clubs and go up on open mics and work it out. Is that what you're kind of thinking of doing?
Yeah, either, writing it down and doing stand up or becoming like a comedy writer on a show. That would also be really cool to do.
Right. Well, it's a lot of fun, and as you know, it's a good time now, because how do we take advantage? How do we spend our time doing something where everything is shut down? There are no shows to write for now, but it's a great time once you can recover from the pain of the time and stay healthy to write. It's a really, really good time to write. And that's kind of what I'm doing. I'm trying to use the time or think of observations or would your stuff be about things that happened to you as a kid, or would you talk about death and things like that?
Yeah, it'd probably be most about my childhood and what I've been through because that's what I make jokes about right now. And sorry, my friend is like freaking out.
Oh, that I'm on the phone?
Yeah, she's she's obsessed with you.
Obsessed? Oh no. I don't have to call the armed guards, do I? Or
No, no, no.
well, what you want to put me on speaker? Would that be a good idea?
Yeah, sure.
Okay. And what's her name?
Alexa.
Alexa. Okay. Hi. How are you, Alexa?
How are you?
I'm good. I talk to Alexa every day, and I think she eavesdrops on me. Um,
Oh yeah, she probably does. I'm not like that. I promise. I'm good.
I'm honored that you are obsessed with me, as it's so told to me by Abby. Um,
I'm honored to be speaking with you. So
Oh,
thank you so much.
oh, it's my pleasure. It's my pleasure. So what's
Oh my god.
I'm honored. I'm just a guy that did family television for a long time and does stand up comedy and does other stuff. But I'm a person. So now are you visiting? Are you a relative or are you visiting?
I'm just a friend of Abby's. I'm dating her brother, so that's how we know each other. We're just FaceTiming right now, but we're friends.
I see. So are you on FaceTime right now?
Yeah, we are.
Oh, so you're not actually at Abby's house right now.
No, I'm not. I'm
Well, that's
social
good.
distancing.
Yeah, that's fantastic to hear that.
Yeah.
Because we have to right now. That's just what we have to do, and it's proved to have worked in other countries. And I'm looking positively at this that it will work. It's just weird to be socially distant from so many people, isn't it? I mean, you guys would rather be hanging out. And are you able to hang out with your boyfriend?
Um,
I go and I see him sometimes, but we're both really busy right now. He is a freelance writer, and then I manage a newspaper, so I'm kind of reporting on the end of the world, so not much time to hang out, which sucks, but it is what it is.
Now, do you think that we are at the end of the world? Is that how you feel about it right now?
It feels like the end of the world. Like you said, it's so weird to be social distancing and feel so far away from everyone. And that is the part about it that is so surreal. And also, all of the things around us are shutting down. I'm a university student, so my college is shut down. My brothers, their schools have shut down. Different stores, non-essential businesses, those have shut down. So it kind of feels like, with all of this happening, that the world is ending. I know that it's not, but
Right.
it certainly does feel pretty a little apocalyptic, I would say.
It does feel that way. And then you look at the news and it sometimes puts more fear into you. And my daughters are in New York, and then I'm here in Los Angeles with my wife, and we're all social distancing. I did an episode with John Stamos, and we were on our Skyping, so I could talk to him, and it felt good. But it's like you find yourself talking to people more during this time, and then you think, well, but it's also like contagion or outbreak, and like what the hell's going on, and it's a serious thing. So that's where it does feel apocalyptic, because what we have to do is to stop it from spreading and killing people. That is apocalyptic. But I don't think it's the end of the world, and I don't think it's the end of humanity. And I think it's a reset and a giant wake up call of things that we need to do to change things. So we're prepared for things as much as we can be. Sorry,
Yeah,
sorry, I just turned into
I
Danny
think you're right.
Tanner. I just did a whole Danny Tanner monologue.
I loved it.
I appreciate it. I think that we both really needed to hear a little Danny Tanner, so thank you for that.
It's so funny because I look on Twitter, and they go, what we need right now is Danny Tanner. And it's like Danny Tanner's I got made fun of so much when I did the part. And now it's like, we just need a dad just to be there to tell us everything's going to be okay. And so that's why I'm doing this. I'm doing episodes that's what this is about. It's it's called Bob Saget's Here for You, and that's what I feel. I feel like I have something to offer people because I genuinely care. And that's, even when my stand-up gets bluish, it still has, the new work I'm doing has more and more, relevance and more treatment of others and what's been missing, the kindness that's been missing. Well,
Exactly.
it's lovely to talk to you guys. And Abby, I think I want to talk to Abby's mom, because she's in the house. I just want to make sure she's doing okay and that everybody's getting along. Would that be okay? I don't want to say goodbye, Alexa. Maybe you could stay on the call, whatever Abby wants to do.
Yeah, she's on my computer right now, and I can bring my phone.
Okay. Okay, so good. So you'll go on this journey with us. We've got a phone and a computer traveling together. And what's your mom's name?
Yes, it's Monique.
Monique. That is a nice name.
It's Bob Saget, Mom. Oh, Bob Saget. See, Bob Saget.
Yeah, I'm afraid it is. Hi, Monique. How are you?
Hey, I went to go visit your old house, and it was under construction last year.
Oh, yeah. Now you can't go there. They've got it all blocked off. Well, you can't go anywhere right now.
Yeah, well, yeah, true.
Are you doing okay?
Why am I talking to Bob Saget?
Please don't bother Monique. She's talking to Bob.
Is my body trying to up with you? I'm sorry.
No, I'm honored. It's nice. Now you're doing okay. It's a hard time, isn't it?
It is. It is a hard time. It's confusing time, and but yeah, I'm fortunate enough to work for a company that said if you have remote access, then just stay at home and work.
That's great. That's a compassionate company.
So I am a town councilor in the town of Southbridge.
Right.
And yep. So it's a pretty scary time for our government here locally. Tough decisions have to be made. We actually have an emergency meeting going on Friday to see if we want to put the town in a local state of emergency.
Right.
Plus, I'm a full-time student, grad student, history.
That's so cool.
And hopefully, hopefully we can learn something by this, because I really don't think the world was ready for something like this.
No, I know. And I think we are learning something from it, but we don't know it, but we will when it passes. And it's interesting how people are having a lot of deep thoughts and connecting with people. I'm hearing from people I haven't heard from in a long time because we're all holed up in our places, our homes, our apartments, whatever. And it kind of puts priorities in order in a way.
Yeah, it does.
I mean, you probably love Abby a little more this week than last, I would think.
Well, I don't know about that. I don't know about that far.
I'm just setting you up.
No.
Well, I want to say thank you, Monique. I'm going to go back to Abby because she had called and she was wanted to ask me questions about stuff she wants to do. So I'm going to go back to Abby if I could, and I just wish you the best and stay healthy. And thanks so much for being so nice.
Oh, thank you. And you and your family stay healthy too. And thank you for all you're doing with reaching out to people like that. That's really, I'm impressed. Thank you.
Oh, thank you. It's going to take a long time. I'm going through the whole phone book of the nation, so it's going to be a while.
You're doing a good job.
Thank you. You too. So, Abby, I guess we're gonna wrap this up. Is there any other what specifically would you want me to do to help you? I guess if you're gonna, I'll give one piece of advice. Sometimes when I talk about death in my stand-up, and I do it sometimes, it gets quiet. The audience gets. Some people laugh at dark comedy, gallows humor they call it, and there are things that are too soon. Like, some comedians are making jokes about the coronavirus, and it's like, all right, I don't know if something very clever that doesn't hurt anybody or it's a positive way to approach it, that's different. But sometimes we can say things in stand-up that can cross a line. So that, and God knows I've done that a lot of times and put my foot in my mouth with it. So I guess the only recommendation, since that was your original question, would be just to figure it out. The only way to figure it out is to try it in front of people. So, or write stuff and get it over to Alexa and maybe get it published. I mean, I don't know.
Yeah, I could definitely do that.
That would be smart to write a story. That's not a bad way to start and talk about, maybe where we're at right now, what we're all going through. Is Alexa, are you still there?
Yes, I'm still here.
So if Abby wrote a story that was kind of cool and kind of brought up, what she's going through and what she's gone through, and would you help her finesse it? Have you guys ever talked about this before?
I'm always telling her to submit and to write for me, and she never has in the past. But hopefully talking to you is the push she needs to finally write something that I can publish.
Well, that sounds great. That sounds really great. So I think, Abby, I think you've got your first opening there, because if something's published, you could take the stuff from that, and that could be your first 5 minutes of stand-up. You take the things that you like the most out of that and see how it does if you want to try stand-up. And if you do, then you'll never want to stop, or you'll go, no, I do want to stop. But my suggestion, being that it's you had the question. So I would say write an article, and you've got a publisher right there that will put it in print for you.
Oh, thank you so much.
Well, I hope I helped. I hope so. And
you did.
I wish the best to you and your family. It was so nice talking to you guys. Thank you so much. And just stay well. And I hope to see you out there when I'm doing stand-up out your way. So take care of yourselves, and thanks for being so cool.
Oh, thank you.
You too. Bye-bye, Alexa. Bye-bye, Abby. All right, we're going to take a little break, and it's important to hear these messages that are coming up. So we'll be right back. All right, I'm excited to tell you about this. I'm so excited, I'm glad you can't see it. I am endorsing a manscaping product, and I had to know what it was. And I had to, you want to get it all nice for the holidays or for special occasion or for that special someone in your life. So what Manscaped has done is they've redesigned the electric trimmer. Listen to this. You have no choice. The Manscaped engineering team spent 18 months perfecting the greatest ball hair trimmer ever created. That's right. I got to say that. That's an ad. They perfect 18 months in a lab perfecting the greatest ball hair trimmer ever created, and just released a new and improved Lawnmower 3.0. And their third generation trimmer features a cutting-edge ceramic blade to prevent manscaping accidents. Millions of balls are about to be nick-free thanks to Manscaped's advanced skin-safe technology. Millions of balls. That's not the lotto. That is amazing. You double that because you got two of those. Some people just have one. Some people have none. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if you're small. It doesn't matter if you're giant. Whatever you're doing, the Manscaped thing's going to make you look nice. Make you look nice for the company. Manscaped accidents are finally a thing of the past. I don't even want to think about them. And here we go. This is the dramatic part. When I tell you this is premium, I mean premium. The battery will last up to 90 minutes so you can take a longer shave. Do you understand what I'm saying? You can spend 90 minutes trimming up your junk. And one of the coolest features is the LED light, which illuminates grooming areas for closer and more precise trimming. Now, that's an LED light. I don't think it goes multicolors. It doesn't. It's not like a disco ball on your balls. They've also upgraded to a 7,000 RPM motor with quiet stroke technology. Now, I'm saying it quietly because it's quiet stroke. And let's not forget about the charging stand. Did anybody say forget about it? No. But somebody must have. You can show your mower off loud and proud right in public, right in your bathroom right there next to your nightstand. I don't care, because this intelligently designed stand is a convenient charging dock powered by USB. That's right. You can plug it into your computer and then shave your pubes and you're out and running free. And if you're listening to me speak right now, which is a good sign, which means you're listening, I want you to experience it firsthand for yourself. Firsthand. Everything is innuendo in this, and I'm happy about that. You get 20% off and free shipping with the code SAGET, S-A-G-E-T, at manscaped.com. Mom, I've made it. That's right. Your balls are going to thank you, and I'm going to thank you. And this is the thing. I got to drive this point home. I'm driving home. You get 20% off and free shipping with the code SAGET at manscaped.com. That's 20% off with free shipping at manscaped.com, and use the code SAGET, S-A-G-E-T. That's right. I have completely made myself one with manscaped.com. All right. We are back from the break, and I'm reaching out to people because I feel like it's a good day to do that. So I'm going to call Jill now. And Jill, I don't know what this area code is, but she's going to tell me. And I don't like to get too personal. I feel bad sometimes asking what town you live in. But we don't know her last name, which is safe. That's how it should always be.
Hello?
Hey, Jill, this is Bob Saget. How are you?
Good. How are you doing?
I'm good. Thanks for leaving a message and calling. And I'm just reaching out to people and making a contribution in a way, one by one, just trying to bring people together because everybody's kind of on their own right now. How are you holding up?
We're doing good. My roommate and I are teachers, so we're kind of figuring out what we can do for our students at home, and kind of planning from there. But otherwise, we're doing well. We're staying in. We're not going out.
And we don't know how long this is going to go on for either. That's the weird part, because they keep extending it and then keep making more regulations depending on where you are. What part of the country are you in?
We're in Kansas City, Missouri.
Oh, I love it there so much. Oh, man.
You know what? I saw you last time you were here at Maristar.
Oh, that was so
Kansas
much
City.
fun. Oh, thanks for coming out.
Fun.
Boy, I
course.
love doing stand-up. It's just more than ever right now, but obviously I can't tour right now. But what were you going to say? I cut you off. I'm sorry. I cut you off when you were complimenting me. I can't allow that.
Right. No, yeah, I really appreciate what you're doing and making time to call people. I think that's really cool, and it's a really fun way to spend time, quarantined. And yeah, so I really appreciate you taking the time to do that.
Well, I appreciate you leaving a message. And what was your question that you wanted to ask, or what did you want to talk about?
Well, speaking of complimenting you, I asked when was the worst time you've ever bombed on stage?
Oh, there's so many. The first, because I've been doing stand up for 40 years. I started when I was 17 years old, and I'm 120
Oh, wow.
now. Yeah, I'm a vampire. I'm a zombie. But
Right.
I bombed I did really well at first. I won some radio contest when I was 17 singing a song called Bondage. So you can find out what a demented 17-year-old I was. It was really weirdo. I was such a weird kid. I had a comb over. It was bad. I looked like a
Oh,
60-year-old car salesman. But I would say one of the worst times was when I was playing in Toronto at Maple Leaf Gardens, which is, the wonderful hockey team up there, and the giant stadium. And I was opening for a band that not a lot of people know, but Canadians that are a little older would know, called Max Webster. And they were a counterpart of a group called Rush, which some people would know, but you definitely, we're talking about the over 55 crowd. But there were 16,000 people there. And I walked out on stage, and all they yelled the whole time was Max, 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 16,000 people. And I was trying to do like music parodies because I was 22 years old. And I did about 5 minutes of music parodies. I got one laugh. The rest, you couldn't hear anything because they were screaming. And I looked to the side of the stage, and I said over the microphone to the promoter, can I leave now? And he goes, yes. And I said, will I still get paid? Because they weren't even listening. They were lighting. I said, you want to see Max? I kept bringing up Max, and then they light matches, which was good. And then he waved for me to get off stage, so I knew I still got my money out of it. And then one other time I was in, I think, Beaumont, Texas, and I was about 24, and I was playing behind chicken wire, and I didn't know what the gig was. And I asked the manager, why am I behind chicken wire? And he said, oh, you'll find out. And the show starts, and then they start doing stand up and start doing guitar songs, and they just throw bottles at me the whole time. Just throwing glasses and bottles, and it's breaking. And I'm going, stop it. And they're like laughing, and it was pretty horrific.
Oh, yeah, no kidding.
Yeah, right. But
We hard to do a set.
When you bomb for 10 years, you learn how not to bomb and how to figure out what people like. And I've got a whole new hour of stuff that I was ready to go touring with, and then moving the whole tour around to the end of the year. So I'll be able to come out and do it.
Yeah.
And so you guys are you not even leaving your dorm? Or are you kind of just hanging out there?
Yeah, we're just hanging out. We'll go to like the grocery store if we need to, but other than that, we really just stay put.
Are there a lot of other students doing the same thing? So you're kind of, social distancing is kind of difficult in a dorm situation, right?
Yeah, well, we're not in dorms. We're in our apartment.
Oh, okay, right.
We've graduated.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So
I got a B- in listening in school.
That's okay. Yeah, we don't see our neighbors very often.
Do you want some water?
We don't see our neighbors.
Do you want to get some water?
Oh, no, I'm okay. Thank
you. I'm a doctor.
We don't see our neighbors very often, so we don't have very many concerns.
Well, good.
Yeah. Are you able to stay in, or do you need to, or do you leave your house often?
I don't leave my house. I did a few days ago. I had to go do some recording of something, and the place was almost on lockdown. And I said, I'm not walking in unless you sanitize and just everywhere, the entire studio. And they did. And I trusted it. And my wife and I were feeling kind of crappy a couple weeks ago. And then we don't know, was that it? Because everybody's like, what's going on? I got a headache. And do I have it? So there's a lot of fear. And if you watch TV, it could really mess up your head. So But
Oh yeah,
but
yeah.
we
I
but
have to turn off the news after a while.
yeah, but we need the info. So you maybe online's the
Right,
best way to get it. Are you finding that
right.
you talk
Yeah,
to friends more, that you're in communication with family and friends more because of this?
I would say so. My parents, they're immune compromised, so I'm trying not to go over and visit them. So I find myself on the phone with them,
Right.
for like a couple hours, and that's normally not what I would do. Um,
Right.
so yeah, I find myself, reaching out kind of and talking more with people,
It
which is nice.
it is nice. That's what's strange
Hmm.
about it. It's this, and if it's not, if we can get it under control, if they can accelerate, a vaccine and make sure there's
Hmm.
tests for everybody, and the remedy is, to make sure you don't get pneumonia, to make sure that if you're really, really,
Right.
really, really sick, sometimes people think they're really sick, but they're not. You got to have,
Hmm.
just call your doctor. But there's so many people out there that don't have those advantages. They can't call anybody. It's a really weird time, and I hope, I'm confident we'll get through this for sure. But
Hmm.
it's just so weird. It's just such a long period of time. So
Yeah, yeah. It started out, everyone was like, "Oh, this is like Ebola. This is like H1N1," and then it just like slowly progressed, and now people are like, "Oh, like we've never seen this before." So it's just so much uncertainty. But um, yeah, hopefully with the social distancing and like shutting uh down certain areas, hopefully we can see some improvements, and see the number lower. But I know it's going to get a lot higher before that happens.
it is because
Yeah.
it's probably a lot of people have it and don't even show any symptoms yet. So, and
Right.
there's also,
Mhm.
the numbers are probably stilted because there's so many people that are in locations where they don't even have medical care. And so,
Right. That's true.
yeah, so I don't know. I
Mhm.
just I just wish well for
Mhm.
everybody. And I'm glad the question was, see, that's such a nice relief to get a question like, how bad did you bomb? Because
Oh,
that
good.
actually is like, it takes my mind off of this stuff. It's so, that's why I wanted to do this, and sometimes
Right. Yeah. At first,
on this show, call people and just see how they're doing.
yeah. Yeah. At first, I was like, what should I ask Bob Saget? And I was sitting here. I'm like, all I can think about is this coronavirus, and I don't want to ask him a question about that.
No,
Um.
but
But yeah, this was
it's funny that it's almost like I'm giving, and I've said this before to other people I've called, I'm giving like Danny Tanner advice, because the guy was a
right.
clean freak. He was ahead of his time.
Yeah, that's true.
He would be amazing during this. He would be spraying down
Right.
all the kids. It would be uh that's too bad Fuller House went off the air. We could do a whole episode about it. I don't think
Oh
so.
yeah.
I think it's going to be an interesting adjustment, and I hope you get to get back into school in the weeks ahead.
Mhm.
It just
Oh, thank you.
it is what it is, and we just have to.
Mhm.
We'll all get through it. There's a lot of good people out
Yeah.
there, and
Oh, for sure.
yeah, and there's a lot of heroes out there too, which is really wonderful. The people that
Mhm.
are out there on the front lines trying to help people. And but anyway,
Right.
I wish you the best,
Mhm.
and your roommate, and just stay safe. And thanks so much. Thanks so much for
Well, thank you. Same to
calling.
you. Yeah, thank you for taking the time to do this.
It's my pleasure. It's nice. It was really nice to connect with you. Thank you.
Oh, thank you.
Take it
Okay, have a
easy.
great rest of your
Stay
night.
safe. Talk to no
Thank
one.
you.
Speak to no one. Have spray everywhere.
Will do.
That's a weird thing to say, but that sounds like I'm talking. I would say that to a skunk. That's not a good thing. So
Right.
have a wonderful, wonderful day, night. Have a good
Thank
evening.
you. You
Thank
do the
you.
same.
Okay.
Bye.
Bye bye. That's so nice. That makes me. I don't know. This stuff doesn't get old to me. I don't know if it does to you guys. It's like, well, he's just going to call another person and tell them, hope you're okay. There's always cynics. I don't know if you've noticed that. Yeah, right. And sometimes people, sarcasm doesn't travel well. I don't know if you've noticed that, but if you ever tweet or you text somebody, texting arguments, by the way, people, you got to stop it. You got to stop it, because I do it. I'm the worst. And then I use Siri, and something's wrong with Siri right now on the iPhone, where she's just not transcribing anything right, and then she doubles it up. You write a whole paragraph, and next thing you know, there's another paragraph, and then you got to delete that one, and then spell check the other one. You're better off typing it, but I don't have doll hands. I can't type that tiny. So you go to your computer and then send them the long email, and then you miss Siri, and then Alexa starts hearing what you're saying to Siri, and she gets jealous. So those are real dilemmas. This other stuff is nothing. Let's take another break. All right. That was a good break. And you know, the good thing about doing a break here, it's not like when somebody says I want to take a break, because when someone says to you I want to take a break, that means you're kind of done. And I know that from watching all the dating shows like Love is Blind, stuff like that. You know, a break means it's not going to work out. Once somebody says I need a break, it's difficult. So I had years ago, I was dating somebody and she said I need a break. And then she was skiing and she broke her leg. So she wasn't talking to me. She was actually wanting to break her leg. That's a great story. This is what editing is for. But that's why we probably won't cut it. I'm going to call Amanda. Amanda is, we only got a couple people left here. And it's just me reaching out, trying to let people know I'm there for them. That's the premise. Just trying to keep the premise strong. That's what you're supposed to do when you line things
Hello?
up. Hi, is this Amanda?
Yeah,
It's
hi.
Bob Saget here. You recognize my voice, didn't you? Because
Oh my gosh. Look, you're my celebrity crush. I could recognize it from anywhere.
that's so nice. Thank you. Because sometimes people go, it's really weird. Like I'll call like an airline myself to book something, and they'll go, wait a minute, is this Bob Saget? And I'll be like, I don't know what to say. So it's probably from How I Met Your Mother, just some disembodied voice that you recognize. So how's it going?
Oh,
How
yeah.
are you doing, Amanda? Is everything okay?
Yeah, I'm doing good. How are you?
I'm good. I'm in isolation. I'm self jail.
Right.
Are you doing the same thing?
Yep. My uncle may have coronavirus, so I had to leave my house and go somewhere else.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
Stay in isolation.
Oh my God, I'm so sorry. Yeah. So you live with your uncle?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm so sorry. I hope he gets well quick, or it doesn't show signs. But yeah, you got to take care of yourself. Do you know where you're gonna go?
Yeah, I'm at my grandma's house.
Oh, that's good.
We're staying quarantined. Yeah.
And probably try to keep a distance from your grandmother just because of the vulnerability of the age of people, right?
Right, of course.
So you won't be like hugging her real hard for like 10 minutes. I love you so much, Grandma.
No.
And what part of the country do you live?
I'm in Michigan.
Oh,
I'll actually see you at your show if you don't cancel it, May 13th.
We are moving it. We are. You're the first to know. I had to move the Royal Oak Theater because of this. They have moved it. And I obviously, well, I had to do. You know, it's weird. I had a Canadian tour. I was going to do 4 theater shows up there, and people were mad at me. And it was literally right when it was all starting, and they canceled 2 of the shows anyway. And then I would not have been able to get back after having been where I would have been. So to get people in a crowd.
Yeah, now that they closed the borders.
Yeah, it's just I can't argue with it because we want to be safe. We want to stop this thing, and if you can stay away from people as much as possible, that's until they can get a vaccination that works. And there was a rumor going around that cocaine cured it. Did you hear about that one? That was the dumbest of all. Like that would have made a lot of people, too many people happy. But if they close the Mexican border, then they're not going to get any anyway. So, oh my God,
I'll have to keep that in mind.
No, yeah, wipe it out of your mind. Forget I said it, because that's not how I should talk. I don't even know you. I feel bad.
No, I'm just teasing.
oh, me too. I swear. So, how you? You had a question. You had a question or something you wanted to talk about?
Yeah, I just wanted to kind of talk about like how you like the tours and if you plan on keep going on tours, like where's your favorite to go, just stuff like that.
That's a nice question because that's my one of the things I love. I do a bunch of different. I always say I do like 5 things, none of them well, but that's a joke. But I do want to be better at everything I do, and I feel like I'm just as crazy as this sounds. I'm 63, but I feel like I'm just getting started, which is bizarre, and that comes from people I've known. Rodney Dangerfield was a friend of mine, and he put me on a young comedian show. In his first movie, he was 58 years old when he did Caddyshack, and then he went on.
Mhm.
It's so weird. I just feel like talking to people that are 19 is no different than talking to a 50-year-old to me. I'm not an ageist. I just want to entertain people. So for me, about 3 years ago, when everybody started getting angry and there was all this stuff and there were all these sides and people yelling at each other and the news turned into a wrestling match. And it was like, tonight it's this person against this person. And then, we're all so
Mhm.
divided, not just the country, but the world. I just wanted to get out. And so I started touring more, and I have a new hour of stuff that will turn into a new special that I was going to shoot in the fall, but I think I'm going to obviously wait. I can't tour right now. And by choice also,
Right.
because I don't want people to congregate in a big group. If anyone was, and no one is foolish enough now, all the promoters and all of the venues are not allowing it to happen, which is horrible for business. It's hurting everybody. But my favorite thing is there's so many places that I just love. I pretty much love almost everywhere that I go. I was going to say everywhere you look, but that would be the theme song to that show. But I really do love. I love the middle of the country a lot. I love Chicago a lot. I love
Mhm.
New York a lot. I love Boston a lot. I love going to Canada. I had the tour up there that is, and they're all being rescheduled. I'll be doing them, and I'm feeling confident that by the fall and as we get closer into September, October, November, that everything's going to be much safer. That's my genuine instinct on this, but who knows? Because it's a weird thing we don't know about. But uh, but
Right.
but I love as you know my stand up is like I talk. I just go off on tangents, but then try to come back to it. But I love the West Coast quite a bit, and I love Portland a lot. I love Seattle, and
Mhm.
they got hurt. I shot a special in Seattle at the Moore Theater there, and I just loved it. The audiences, it's where people want to, people want to laugh everywhere. I mean, I had a date in Austin, Texas. I had to move. There's so many great people, and everybody wants to laugh. It doesn't matter. That's why I kind of don't go religion or political, but I'm also people go, "Oh, you're dirty," and I'm like, "Well, not my new stuff's not really,
Mhm.
but it still is what it is." I just I like making people laugh a lot. So, doing these having a podcast that I'm proud of where I'm relating to people is my way of just reaching out and still wanting, because comedians want to do it. They want to communicate. And I don't see myself stopping, whether I'm working on directing a movie right now, which is all on hold because everything is, um,
Mhm.
or doing stand up or acting. There's a lot of stuff that will come back, and it's going to come back strong. And I just hope people are in a place where they're going to need to laugh, but
Right.
I hope too many people aren't hurt financially by all of this. So
Right. Hopefully it's not too bad. I was so excited. I had got a ticket for my birthday to go see you in May because you're my favorite.
Oh, that's so
So
nice.
I was like, oh, I hope they don't cancel. But if it's being postponed, that's all right. So
It's literally rescheduled. We're working on that today.
yeah.
Yeah, because I'm not a canceller. I just I'm a counselor. I'm a doctor. No, I actually don't. I'm a pro, and I have a strong work ethic. But I also, when I'm on stage, that's like my playground, So, and when you get
Mhm.
a whole room of people to laugh and enjoy themselves, I can't wait till we get those days back, and I will relish. And
Oh, I know. I'm looking forward to it. You
me
can
too.
bring me up on stage if you want.
Oh, well, that's sweet. You know what you should do though when I do come back? Tell them I won't forget you at all, Amanda, and just say Amanda's here from Bob's podcast, and I'll make sure you can say hi after the show, so we won't have to. We can elbow bump. Hopefully, we'll be past that, but we'll definitely. It'll be very nice to meet you, especially after all
Oh
this is
yeah,
passed.
I look forward to it. Actually, my friend photoshopped pictures, so I had her Photoshop a picture of you and I together.
Oh my God.
So it'll be nice to have a real one.
Well,
I promise I'm not creepy.
no, hey, I'm calling you. That would be creepy, but people have had to call that number that's listed on the top of the thing, and it was just really nice of you to, you respond to the tweet or Instagram wherever you saw it. It's just,
Oh, I seen it on Facebook.
oh, that's cool. That's cool. I didn't even post it there.
Mhm.
So excellent. So I look forward to seeing you when we're up and running, and you can just go to, and the tickets will be completely not refundable. They will be just used. They will be accepted. And you just go to bobsaget.com, and they're going to tell you anyway, but that'll tell you when the new date is. So thanks so much. And I'm honored there's a Photoshop picture of you and me out there.
I'll send it to you somehow.
But yeah, my wife will love it. She'll want it over the bed. So thanks so much, and take care of yourself, and be well. And I'll see you.
Okay,
I'll
thank
see you when
You
I see you.
too.
Okay.
All right, I'll see you at your show.
I'll see you then. Thank you, Amanda.
All right, have a good night.
You too. Bye-bye. That was really hopeful to me. Talking to a bunch of young ladies, I truly felt like a dad. And it made me feel hopeful too about people, that they're not being cynical. They're not going, screw this. I'm not going to do social distancing. I'm doing whatever I want. They're awesome people, and people want to live their lives. And we just want this thing to be easier for people. And I feel very hopeful about a lot of things. I really care about people. And my dad was like that. I remember one time my uncle had a heart attack, and we went to visit him in the hospital, and my dad was the kind of guy who would have really an irreverent sense of humor. He would say really gross stuff. That's where I got it. My mom would say, "Don't talk like that, Bob," and that made me worse, and that's why I disobeyed and acted like a fool. But my dad was in this elevator. I'm sorry, I digressed. And we're gonna go visit my uncle who just had a heart thing. And a woman in the elevator at the hospital is crying. And my dad did not know the lady. And he looked at her and he said, "I'm sorry if you're going through something that's difficult." This is a stranger he's saying this to. And she looked up at him, and she was crying, but she was like the voice of an angel. And my dad did not sound like an angel. It was like, "You look like you're going through a hard time." That was his voice. So it's not exactly soothing. But then he said, "I just want you to know that everything's going to be okay, and you look very lovely today." And you would think that would be like, what is my dad doing? Is he hitting on this lady? But it didn't come from there. It came from him wanting to be kind to somebody and make them feel better. And that's a gift. And I think that's one of the sweetest, most wonderful things my dad imparted upon me is to genuinely care about people. And I can be an idiot sometimes, and I can be moody. And when I look at things I did back in the day, or I see pictures of myself online, or what people say about me, I'm the first person that is self-loathing about myself. But then I genuinely care about people, which is why I'm doing this thing. And so I want to call the person I never got to talk to, Andre, that we tried a couple times. Just want to make sure it's consistent with all the other times we tried to call him as we wrap up this episode. This is Andre, and we tried him twice, and it didn't work out. But we're going to try him again now because I thought that the number was written down wrong. But we'll see. We're going to find out right now. Here it comes. I need a drum roll. Yep.
We're sorry.
Same
you have
response.
reached a number that has been disconnected.
Well,
or
I
no longer.
think when Andre gave his number to the voicemail that you can leave your message on of what you want to talk about, or any questions you have for me, it's right up there in the description. The phone number's there. You can call it, leave a message, and I'll call you sometime, and I'll alert you on Twitter and Instagram when I'm going to be open to make those calls. Andre probably made the call and then changed his number right away so I wouldn't call him back. That's what I think happened. That's the joke's on me. It was a prank. But I really enjoyed talking to all of these nice people. Really, really sweet. I got to find out that people are the people I just spoke to. I think you feel the same way. They're kind people, and I'm just glad they didn't give their last name and address. So I wish you all a lot of happiness through this difficult time. I know it's really hard, but what's positive is to reach out to people that you care about and just let them know. And I think the connection that we're having with people right now is extremely important. So this is me. Bob Saget's here for you. And you want to rate, review, and subscribe. You subscribe to this damn thing, and I promise I won't let you down because I'm here for you. And it's never going to be the same. I'm going to be doing different stuff every time, and just being me, reaching out to you. So thanks a lot, and be safe, and wishing you all the best. Have a good one.